Now, the NASD OTC is home to 38 securities, inclusive of one bond, but a lot of the securities are actually unquoted. And of course, this is one platform that a lot of investors actually exchanged money transactions on. Joining us to give us an insight into how this market performed for the month of August, which is a rare thing that we do on this show, is Chiwendu Eke, who is the head of operations and, of course, the information technology officer over there. Thanks a great deal for joining us on the show this evening.
Thank you.
It's really good to have you around.
Yeah.
So let's begin with how the market has actually performed year to date so far.
Okay, so at the end of the week, last week, the market closed with a positive note. So the NASDAQ Securities Index went up by a 1.47%.
That's the USI, right?
Yes, the USI, but we call it the NASDAQ Security Index.
Oh, that's
so
a new
NSI,
one.
Yes.
That's interesting. Okay.
So it went up by 1.47% to close at 720 points as against the 709 points as of last week. Now, also our market cap also went up, also closed at a 517 billion naira compared to the 510 which it closed at.
That's some serious decline from the 530-something billion that we used to see it at.
Well, the market is speaking. So, but in terms of security, we have from year to date review, we have gainers in terms of CSCS, which has gone up at 0.7%. Now we see a 10% increase in NASDAQ and a 0.16% increase in Union Bank properties. Okay. Now, in terms of the volume and value traded for the market, we have 2.58 billion in terms of volume. Then we have 8.2 billion naira in terms of value. Now, for the week, the just concluded week, we had our gainers as CSCS, Afriland, Wanko, and a number of other stocks like that.
Okay, so this month so far, how would you describe the performance across the categories? I know you have three major categories: the blue category, the pink category, and the red category. A greater number of the stocks you've mentioned as performing other stock or other securities for this week are in the blue category.
Yeah. So what we do at the NASD is to rank securities based on a number of criteria. One of those criteria is the level of information we have, the level of trades and transactions that we see on our platform. So we rank them according to the blue, the pink, and the red. So, but for this month, we have about 3 of our securities on the blue, which we saw an increase in their prices. So we could see CSCS gained a 5.20% this week. Afriland went up by 1.41. Then we have just a loose Niger Delta went down by NDEP went down by 1%. Yeah. So, but on a general note for the week, would say for the month of August, rather, we'll say the market closed on a positive note here by 0.39%.
Okay, because that's one market that also had some kind of zigzag performance, I mean, for that period. So year to date, I know that the platform, your platform, has now invested seriously in the area of infrastructure, IT infrastructure, so to say. Could you bring us up to speed with that?
Okay, yeah. As of last year, we moved off from the exchange, which is a list platform which we use in conjunction with the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So we went up to a new platform which is proprietary built. We call it the BIT platform. It's a small fit-to-scale platform to meet our market. So after going from that, we also have introduced the data portal. Now, the data portal holds a repository of all our data. So what it means is you could get data on that platform from inception. So every data has to do with the corporate action, dividend history, trends analysis, and dynamics of what our market has, you can find on the platform. Now, also shortly around last month, we also launched the NASDAQ mobile app. So what we've done with the mobile app is to bring information close to the investor. So on your phone, you could actually see prices. You could see trends of the markets. You just need to log in, register, and that's that. So that's with regards to technology. So we've also done some other works in terms of rules, in terms of compliance, and, we've really done a lot this few past months.
Which is why quite a number of those securities, those companies, so to say, now had their annual general meetings this time.
Yeah.
And going by the information you send out on daily, on weekly basis regarding their performance and disclosures, you outlined the dividends that each one of them
Yeah,
paid and
paid
all
and all
that. I
of
mean,
that. So
how has that really enjoined investors to, give more confidence to your platform?
you know, the market thrives on information.
Yeah.
So if you give out as much information as you have, you know, it tells people that this is the fundamentals that the company has. So there you could say things like the company fundamentals, then in addition to the forces of demand and supply on the market itself.
Yeah.
So that has really helped to improve the market, yes.
You've also had the admittance of a couple of firms, and of course, some securities. Some companies have also done rights issue. I think this week, GNI came on board, having been delisted from the stock exchange, and now Food Concept had its rights issue,
Yeah.
which ended this week, was it?
Okay, yes. So GNI did a voluntary delisting from the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So it came onto our platform through securities admission.
Yeah.
Now, the securities admission process is a process whereby the investor who has the shares can actually walk up to the NASD and say, I wish to trade these shares on the platform. So it might not necessarily have to come through the company itself. So we have the company admission process, the route where the company itself lists on the NASD OTC Securities Exchange, and then we have the company admission. So GNI was introduced to the NASD OTC Securities Exchange via the securities admission route. Right. Yeah. So now we've also had a number of rights in the past 2 months. We've seen the rights for Food Concepts and one other one.
An insurance company.
Yes, an insurance company. Yes.
That would be, well, I also can't remember that. But basically, what's the outlook for the month of September?
Looking at the general market performance, I won't really say I'm that so positive, but yes, we're hopeful because, you know, right now we're in the period of paying school fees, so there's a lot of funds that are going out, and then coupled with the recent fraud issues around the market and all that, but we're hopeful that, yes, the market will definitely pick up.
Well, I see that sense of bullishness in you in a way. The company that also has its rights issue was Ensure PLC, now Alliance.
Alliance, yes. Nice, now Alliance.
Great. Thank you so much for your time. Ms. Chiwendu AK, we appreciate your time. Ms. Chiwendu AK is the head of operations and information technology with the NASD OTC PLC. After the break, we'll bring you some details of the market performance. That's the bonds, the treasury bills, and equities performance in the month of August. Join us shortly.